pattern interrupt. You aren't tired because of your job. You're exhausted because of the ghost you're trying to outrun. Look at your achievements, the degrees on the wall, the title on your LinkedIn profile, the car in the driveway. To the world, you've made it. But late at night, when the screen goes black, you feel a hollow, gnawing void. You feel like a fraud. Why? Because you're not working for your future. You're working to pay off a debt you never signed for. You are a reparative child, a human project designed to fix the lives your parents broke. You aren't living a life, you're performing a rescue mission. And until you understand the mechanics of this childhood debt, your success will never belong to you. It will always belong to them. Two, the big promise. Over the next 15 minutes, we are going to deconstruct the anatomy of your ambition. I'm going to reveal the inherited trauma architecture, the invisible blueprint that dictates every move you make. You'll learn why your burnout isn't physical, but a form of emotional bankruptcy. By the end, I'll give you the framework to stop being a fixer and start being a person without losing your soul or your sanity. Three, the relatable pain point, the hero-child trap. Think back to your earliest memory of praise. Was it for just being there? Or was it because you got an A? Because you didn't cry when they were stressed? Because you were so mature for your age? In that moment, you learned a dangerous lesson. Love is a transaction. You became the family's golden ticket. You were the therapist for your mother's failing marriage. You were the trophy your father used to mask his own professional failures. You became the strong one so they wouldn't have to face their own weakness. You didn't get a childhood, you got a job description. And now, as an adult, you're still clocking in every single day. Four, psychological breakdown, the anatomy of the debt. Let's use dark psychology to look under the hood of your drive. Enmeshment, the boundary between where they end and you begin, has dissolved. Their disappointment feels like your physical pain. Their poverty feels like your personal failure. The sunk cost fallacy of parenting. They remind you of their sacrifices. We worked 3 jobs for you. This isn't a gift, it's a loan with predatory interest rates. They expect your life as repayment for doing their job as parents. Projective identification. They had dreams they were too afraid to chase, so they placed those dreams inside you. Now, you're not chasing your passion, you're chasing their regrets. Success for you isn't about joy, it's about redemption. You're trying to earn enough status to finally make the past okay. Spoiler, it won't work. 5. Case study, the janitor of the family. Let's look at Sarah. Sarah is a high-level executive. She grew up in a household defined by chaos, addiction, debt, and instability. She swore she'd be different. She became the ultimate success story. She bought her parents a house. She pays for their vacations. She is the bank for every sibling's crisis. But here is the dark reality. The more she fixes them, the more they resent her. And the more she gives, the more she hates herself. Why? Because her success has become their enabling mechanism. By trying to save them from their mistakes, she has stolen their agency and fueled her own resentment. She realized she isn't a daughter. She's a high-performing janitor, cleaning up messes she didn't make for people who refuse to make them. 6. The step-by-step framework, declaring bankruptcy. How do you stop the cycle? You apply the sovereignty protocol, the motive audit. Every time you're about to achieve something or buy something, ask, if I could never tell my parents about this, would I still want it? If the answer is no, it's a debt payment. Stop. Radical acceptance of disappointment. You must accept that you cannot make them happy. Their happiness is a hole with no bottom. Your job is to be okay with them being disappointed in you. Financial decoupling. Set a fixed limit on what you give. No more emergency bailouts. If their success is their only safety net, they will never learn to walk. Reparenting the inner achievement child. Start rewarding yourself for things that have no market value, hobbies that you're bad at, rest that produces nothing. Relearn how to exist without performing. 8. Emotional reinforcement. Breaking the debt feels like betrayal. It feels like becoming the bad guy. But listen, you cannot set yourself on fire to keep them warm. Your parents' mistakes are their property. You are not a repair kit. You are a human being. The highest honor you can give your lineage isn't by fixing their past, but by creating a future they were too broken to imagine. One where success is fueled by desire, not debt. 8. The strong ending and open loop. You've stopped the payments, you've reclaimed your life, but there's a side effect no one tells you about. When you stop living for them, you lose your why. For years, the debt was your fuel. It gave you focus, it gave you grit. Now that the fuel is gone, you're left with a terrifying silence. Who are you when you're not the successful child? Next time, we'll talk about the high achiever's void, how to build a soul from scratch.